Chazak Baruch, good morning, Botai. A halacha that's especially prevalent in yeshivot, Bate Midrash, Bate Knesset, is using sfarim for personal use, which means sometimes in the course of learning, you want to use other sfarim on the table that you're not necessarily learning from, but to prop up other sfarim against to make it easier to learn from. Is that mutar or asur? So the Taz, Rav Turei Zahav, in Yoreh De'ah Siman Resh Pebet, discusses this. And he says, only if the sfarim are already there when you sit down and you want to prop up the sfarim that you're learning from against them, is it mutar. However, if they weren't there and you want to take sfarim from elsewhere to bring them to prop up the sfarim that you're learning from against, that's considered a bizayon sfarim, that's considered disrespectful, and you're not allowed to do that. The Magen Avraham disagrees. Magen Avraham in Orach Chaim Siman Kuf Nun Dalet, he says it's not the case. He writes Meforash that since this is being done derech limud, it doesn't matter if it was there or not. The halacha is that you are allowed to prop up your sfarim against others to make it easier to learn. He brings it ayah from the Sefer Hasidim, who writes that if a person, let's say, is learning and the sun is shining on the sefer and he can't really see, it's too bright, you're allowed to take another sefer and hold it up against the sun to block the sun so that it's easier for you to learn. Again, not for your own personal benefit or enjoyment, but in order to make it easier to learn. It doesn't matter if the sefer was there or not. Maran Zichrono Livracha in Chazon Ovadia Shabbat Chelek concurs like the Magen Avraham that it is mutar. Maran Zichrono Livracha himself, when he needed to prop up a sefer to see it better, or when he was writing, he would take sfarim and help it to use it to prop it up, and he would do that himself. Now, another thing that's equally as prevalent is how you stack up sfarim in a Bet HaMidrash. Sometimes people are very, very makpid to make sure that a Chumash or a Tanakh goes on top of Gemara and a Tehillim goes on top, all sorts of different things to make sure that everything is stacked up the way it should be. However, the Minhag HaOlam is Kedat Aruch HaShulchan. If you look in the Aruch HaShulchan, Yoreh De'ah Siman Resh Pebet, he also says that this halacha applies that you shouldn't put a Talmud on top of Torah Shebichtav. That's only when it's handwritten. When it's handwritten and has a higher level of Kedusha, that's when we're makpid. However, nowadays when all of our Sfarim are printed and they are of lower level Kedusha, it really doesn't matter. It's nice to be makpid, but it's definitely not a chiyuv. Sometimes I see people, they get all nervous about it. They walk around the entire Bet HaMidrash, rearranging stacks of Sfarim to making sure Chumashim, and that's nice, but I tell them it's Bitul Torah. Tismoch ala Aruch HaShulchan, rely on the Aruch HaShulchan, take it easy, because that's the Minhag HaOlam. Have a wonderful day.